After a spell of dominance in the 60s and a brief spell in the 70s as well, we are potentially going to win our first Superliga title in nearly 50 years, or possibly over 50 years with Esbjerg. We are into the championship group stage. We are 4 points clear of Randers. We are 14 points clear of Copenhagen. And we have literally no distractions. Randers, I think, are still in the Europa Conference League. Copenhagen, I'm hoping, are just too far away to really be too much of a problem. Now, we might win the league in this episode because we are going to kick off with a match against Randers. A win here will put us 7 points clear. I mean, I've already forgotten how far ahead we are at the moment, but a win should put us 7 points clear of Randers. We then play them again at the end of April. We play Copenhagen in the middle. We're going to do Randers and Copenhagen in this episode. Next episode will probably be Randers again. And we may be champions by that point, depending on how badly things have gone for Randers, that's what they're called. Let's jump into the first match. The starting lineup then for the Randers game. We're at home for this one. It's going to be Hindrich in the sticks, Mussen, Gordon, Darlan and Enrique in defence. Orlando, Schulman and Babu in midfield. Pete, Carniero and Barisic on the wings and up front. We are missing one player from our starting 11, and that is Preda, because he's currently out injured. Other than that, I'd say we're pretty full strength. Carniero is a perfectly good left winger, if you ask me. If anything, he might even be better than Preda. He's just not as quick. So our recent form, obviously we have a defeat to our name, but obviously that was in the Cup, in the Europa League. So we're not too fussed about that. Randers, however, 4 wins out of 5, a draw in the middle, which is going to be, obviously they're still in the Europa Conference League, so that's where they're going to be getting some of their wins. Maybe even that draw is a Europa Conference League draw, I'm not quite sure. We should be good enough to win, especially at home. 10 minutes on the clock. Randers have a corner. Storch is the man to take it. Is it going to go towards the front post? It goes towards the back post. Babu clears not very well. And Bazumana Torre has made it 1-0 to Randers. It's not the end of the world, but it's certainly not the thing that we wanted to happen at the start of this match. That was literally their first shot as well, and it's gone into the back of the net. Svensson with a free kick. Diamande goes backwards, plays it to their centre-back. Traore forward, Storch collects it. Their regular corner taker by the looks of it. Engli back to Traore. Engli and Traore passing between them. Randers looking very, very good. And we've given Gertsen lots of space, and it's 2-0. What have we done there? Henrik Vollesen makes it 2-0. They've had 2 shots and scored them both. They're blaming Carniero for that one. I'm not really sure it's Carniero's fault. If anything, who's this? Is that Carniero? It's Carniero's fault. Okay, fair enough. Straight after the goal into another highlight. We need to score. We need to score from this highlight. Otherwise, we are in danger of this match slipping away from us. A draw's not awful. It's not the best, but it's not awful. Svensson clears not far enough. He still gets hold of it, though. And now Randers can go off towards that left-hand side. Torre controls it. Mossen's not got the pace to keep up with him. Torre's in on goal. Hindrich has finally made a save. Carniero's on a 6.3. Look at those Randers stats. The amount of players on 7s and above is insane. Darlan with a free kick. About 10 minutes to play. Ball forward. Schulman chests it down. That's a superb ball. And how has he not scored? How has he not scored from that? Gertsen with a throw. 5 minutes now left of the first half. If we go in at 2-0 down, that is awful. If we go in any more than 2-0 down, I feel like it's game over. Vollesen to Isaksen on the right-hand side. Carniero's tracking back. Babu steals it. Orlando can now go forward. Just lump it upfield. Hjulmand, he's got a runner. Enrique's there, not the person I was expecting it to go to. Down the line, crosses in. Barisic is there. Big, powerful header from the striker. Goes over the bar. First chance likely going our way there. Pete, he's got Darlan on the front post. It's towards Darlan, and Darlan is there. His 5th goal of the season. It's 2-1. We've got a goal back just before half-time. Can we get our second and get back on level terms? The frustrating thing is we have been the better team. We just haven't seen it. I'd say we've been the better team. They've had more possession, and that's pretty much it. They've had less shots. They've got less XG. They've just got more goals and more possession, which I guess the goals is kind of the big one. Leffer Gordon is playing poorly. He's on a 6-3. Mossen, Hindrich on 6-5s as well. Carniero's on a 6-3. Still taking the blame for that goal earlier. I should not try and big up some of our players before the match, because I said Carniero is arguably as good as Preda, and now he's just playing just absolutely awfully. Babu collects this ball through to Carniero. Go on, buddy. Go on, Carniero. It's not his day. It is not his day. We need to bring him off. We need to bring Gordon off as well. Gordon's dropped down to a 6.2. I don't know what Leffer Gordon's doing to be on a 6.2, because they're not having shots. So he's clearly doing something right, isn't he? Barisic controls it. It's got no support. He's gone for goal anyway. And Bartol Barisic, with his 34th goal of the season, has made it 2-2 with something kind of ridiculous. I wasn't really paying attention. I was talking about left for Gordon. Barisic gets this. The keeper's way out of position. Barisic's finish is, to be honest, pretty spectacular. Puts it in the back of the net. It's 2-2. We have got back on level terms. And now it's just up to us to get another goal. And to do that, we're going to do some changes. We've got no left winger. Have we got a right winger on the subs bench? We could do N'Golo Cannon. Can Cannon play as a winger? Kinda. Not really, but he can. We do have Jack Leonard, though, who can play as a right wing. That's probably better. I think Leonard's a winger, isn't he? He's more of a winger than a right back. Is he? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what position Jack Leonard is. So Pete's going over to left wing. Leonard's coming on to the right side as well. We are also going to do Cannon, not Cannon. We can't do Cannon as a centre-back. We've got to do Colorado. We'll do that, and we'll do Orlando, because Orlando can play there. He's 5'10". He's not amazing in the air, but, you know, he's probably better than Colorado, and I think Colorado, as a DM, might be better. In fact, should probably swap Colorado and Babu over. Pete's corner comes in. Darlan's there at the front post, and he's got a brace. We have taken the lead. Darlan has scored twice, both from corners. We are in front against Randers, and this could be... They may as well start carving our name on the trophy, right? There's still 9 games to go. Calm down. Just seen Hindrich has got an assist for that Barisic goal as well. That's impressive. Is Darlan on a hat-trick? Here we go. Pete to the front post. Darlan's going to be there. It's gone over everybody. Pete, how have you managed to do that? Hillman collects it. Back to Pete. In towards goal. Hits the base of the post. That's the second time we've hit the woodwork. Enrique now with a free kick. We are looking lively now. We have certainly come into this game. Pete's in on goal. Pete kicks it straight at the keeper. We should have had 5 or 6 in this. Final 10 minutes of the match. Orlando, the makeshift centre-back with a free kick, finds Enrique. Pete collects it. Enrique should have carried on his run and gone that way. Darlan to Colorado. He's lost out. Not what we need. Not what we need. Orlando sticks his foot on the ball and then gets tackled. And we've left him in the middle. And Otto Hindrich has saved the day there. Corner for Storch. From the right-hand side, left-footed corner, and it is cleared. It's not cleared, it's gone over the bar. Final 5 minutes, let's do some more changes, time-wasting changes. Enrique off, Cannon on. We've got 3 left-backs on the bench, I've just seen. We've got Cece, Gerchich, and Cannon on the bench. Do we take off Hjulmand? I mean, he's playing okay, but we've got Markovic. We'll do that, won't we? We'll also do that because I feel like Colorado's better as a more central midfielder. Babu's better as a more defensive midfielder because he can't attack and he's got no technical ability. I'm going to hold on for our final sub towards like late in the match, even maybe after the 90, which is going to be Lundsgaard coming on. We are past the 90. We are going to do Barisic off, Lundsgaard coming on. And that is hopefully going to be it. We've got 2 minutes and a bit to play. Somebody was offside. Mawson was offside. Okay, our right back was offside. Free kick. We are seeing the free kick. This is a concern. If we can nick it, it's maybe not a concern. Babu collects, tries to find Pete and can't manage it. And now Randers clear the ball. Mawson's there alive enough to collect that. Darlan gets it from Orlando. Ball forward towards Lundsgaard. He's never winning a header. He's 5'6". Leonard's not going to run on to the end of that one. Is this a highlight or is this just going to run down the clock? If it's a highlight, I'm concerned. If it's just going to run down the clock, fine. Keep going. Pete collects it. Right-hand side is Markovic. He's got Lundsgaard in the middle. Lundsgaard is there. And Jan Lundsgaard, the 16-year-old, has made it 4-2. His first senior goal in the league for Jan Lundsgaard. All the other ones have been in cup competitions. And we have beaten Randers. We've beaten second-place Randers 4-2. That is massive. From how we started that game to how we finished, or how we played in the second half, that's a performance. And even better news, not that I think they're a problem so far this season, or now, anyway, in the season. Copenhagen lost to Norgesland, which means Copenhagen are now 16 points behind us? 17 points. It's 17 points behind us. Which I don't think they're going to claw that back. I think that is too big a gap. So looking at the league table, there are 9 games to play. We're going to do some maths here. There are 27 points up for grabs. Which means we're not even close to securing the title, but we're not far off from securing it over Copenhagen. 3 wins should do it. Something that I was completely not expecting. First of all, we've signed a new player, or we will be signing a new player, which I guess I kind of have to show you now. We've had a takeover. For the last 8 years, there has been frequent messages of the board might be taken over. and then never happens, and then it actually has for once. We've actually got ourselves a new owner, which is Momir Veljkovic, possibly formerly of Voždovac Beauregard in Serbia. Fair enough. I don't think he's given us any more money. No, he hasn't. There are no plans to provide club with any investment at this stage. Well, after all that, mate, you've not really helped me at all. And I don't think they've actually changed any of this either. Give you the updated long-term visions. I mean, is it updated? Is it updated? I don't know. And we are signing Mirko Durkovic. Probably not how it's pronounced. 22-year-old centre-back signing from, is it Mladnost? Is that what they're called? He's good, right? Is he good? Do I think he's good? They say we should definitely sign him. £450,000 I think is a bargain, right? I think we've got ourselves a very good centre-back there, and we've needed another centre-back, and he fits the bill. Obviously, that's not going to happen until next season. We're now going to go forward to the Copenhagen game, which means we're going to play Nordisland off camera. We've just beat Randers 4-2, and it was a magical experience. We're going to play Nordisland off camera, and we'll be back for Copenhagen. We're not coming back for the Copenhagen game because, first of all, Copenhagen have just beaten Brøndby 1-0. We'll come back to that in a second, but AGF have beaten Randers. We are 10 points clear with 8 games left to play. We've also just beaten Nordisland 2-0 Pete and Carniero with the goals. Oh, is this happening? Is this actually going to happen? We are still going to play Copenhagen in this episode, but before we get there, apologies to Brøndby. I keep forgetting you're Danish, and I don't know why. Okay, I have no idea why. I said that we were the only Danish team left in the Europa League. Brøndby were also in the Europa League at exactly the same point as us and lost against Rangers. So, yeah, they were still there. Apologies, Brøndby. I'm more nervous about this match against Copenhagen than I was against the match against Randers because we never seem to beat Copenhagen. This is the starting 11 we're going to go for, and it is exactly the same starting 11 that we played in the last match against Randers. So Hindrich, Moss and Gordon, Darlin and Enrique. Orlando, Hjulmand, Babu, Pete, Carniero on that left-hand side because Carniero actually played very well against Nordisland, so he keeps his place, and Barisic leading the lines. Copenhagen, after their weird little blip mid-season, seem to be back to normal to an extent. They're still losing the odd game here or there, as we've just seen, but they are winning most games now. We have won 4 out of our last 4, and we've won them not comfortably, but we've won them well, I think is probably a better way of putting it. We did obviously concede twice against Randers. First highlight is from kickoff. Carniero nicks it, and we've got the ball good. I was worried that Copenhagen were just going to run forward, score themselves an early goal. Hjulmand with the ball back to left for Gordon. Darlin, very, very deep for Darlin there. Enrique down the line to Carniero. Babu collects it. Carniero really needs to make that run. Enrique misses Preda because Preda makes the run and gives Enrique the space. Mawson collects the ball on the right-hand side. Is Hjulmand in the middle? Is Bartol Barisic. Grabara with a save. Gone off for a throw that we're not going to see. Or are we? Maybe. Is this a different throw? This might be a different one. Mawson with a throw to Pete. Mawson again. Orlando. Ball forward to Hjulmand. Morten Hjulmand has made it 1-0 to Esbjerg against Copenhagen with just over 3 minutes played. Are we doing this? Is this actually happening? Just under 10 minutes, Borg gets his throw, gets the ball back, kicks it straight to Pete, but Pete loses out as well, and Grönbeek makes it 1-1. I mean, that lead didn't last particularly long, did it? I think it was about 7 minutes in total. I keep getting carried away. We score a goal and I think we're suddenly going to be the best team in the world, and then we immediately just balls it up. Since the first 10 minutes, nothing's happened. We're now 35 minutes on the clock. It is 1-1. Not a huge amount going on. There's a free kick for Copenhagen in a good position. Foman needs to score against us because he hasn't done it so far, and he's not done it yet either. That is good. Daniel Foman, I think he's like 35, and still plays regularly for Copenhagen and still scores against us regularly as well. Half-time, 1-1. Not the most exciting game of football. We have done nothing. We literally didn't have a shot in the second part of the first half. We need to do something. That was not very good. We've not created enough. No changes for us at half-time. Estevez's throw 5 minutes into the second half. Fonseca's ball forward. It is Hindrich. What are you doing, Hindrich? Somebody get the ball. It's left for Gorland. Saves the day to an extent. Hjulmand comes in, nicks that as well. We got very lucky. Hindrich got bored. If we can hold on for a draw, I think I'll be happy. I'd prefer a win, but we're away from home, so a draw isn't awful, is it? It is Borges on that left-hand side, down the line to Johansson. Lots and lots of space, crosses it in. Enrique tries to get there, but Darlin can clear the ball instead. Barisic isn't going to get it. Carniero does for Schulman through ball, nicks it off Carniero to find Barisic. Barisic finds the stands. Much like the Randers game, we've got players who are not doing very well at all. So we're going to do some changes. We're going to mix it up a little bit. They're saying, oh, Denson's on the bench. I never pick my subs bench. We've got Denson. Is it time to do the business that you normally seem to do, mate? Obviously, we brought on Cannon there and Denson Barnabas, if you didn't see what happened. 75 minutes, and Golo Cannon's weird clearance finds a Copenhagen player. Cannon again with a volleyed clearance. What is the deal with those clearances, mate? He's offside. He's miles offside. He's gone wide anyway. That wasn't a highlight. I don't know why they've done that. They've also subbed off their goal scorer, which is a bit of a weird one. Corner with 10 minutes to play for Copenhagen. Pete needs to get there. Pete doesn't get there. Borges gets there. Makes it 2-1 to Copenhagen. What is going on? What is actually going on with our strikers? Right, we're going to do Markovic coming on up front. That's where we're struggling. We're just not getting the ball anywhere upfield. Colorado's going to come on. Swap you to Round, I think. I prefer Colorado as the Mazzala. So we're going to put him there. We've got one more change. And we've got no real attacking options on the bench. Pete's coming off. We're doing Jack Leonard coming on. No, we're not. We're doing Benjamin Larson. He has come off the bench once. He's not the quickest. He's not the best in the air because he's 5'9", but he is homegrown to an extent. He's not, is he? We nicked him from OB. Anyway, Benji Larson's coming on for the final 5 minutes. We need to get ourselves a goal. Looking at that match momentum graph, we've been rubbish. We've deserved nothing out of this game. The fact that we even scored was impressive. And I do not know what it is with Copenhagen. We are just awful. The second half, we had one shot. We had one shot in the second half. We played well for 10 minutes. That's all we did. But, Randers have lost again against Bromby. So we're still 10 points clear with 7 games left to play? 6 games? 7? It's 7 games left to play. We're 10 points clear with 7 games to go. We are going to play the AGF game in this episode, but we're not going to do it on camera. And next episode will be the final episode of Season 9, and we will kick off with the match against Randers, which if we win that one, we might be literally games away. And by games, we may even be championed by Bromby or even Nordsjælland games. So that's what we're going to do next episode. But let's play AGF because we could balls this one up. I don't know why this didn't click, but Copenhagen have to play Randers. And they've just done that, and Copenhagen have beaten Randers, which means after our 3-2 win, just about a win, against AGF, we are now 13 points clear of Randers, 14 points clear of Copenhagen, 6 games left to play. If my maths is right, that is a total of 18 points that both of those teams could possibly get maximum. Which means we are potentially 2 games away from being champions. In fact, if we beat Randers in the next match and Copenhagen don't win, are we champions? I'm not going to say that is true. I think that's true, but last time I tried to question my maths, we didn't get through the Europa League. So it might not be true. But we're going to play Randers anyway next episode. We're probably going to play Bromby, because I feel like Randers, Bromby and Nordsjælland are the 3 matches where we could win the league, which is good because it means we don't have to rely on beating Copenhagen anymore. And I think it's taken 9 years. It has taken 9 whole years to get to this point. We have been runners-up twice, 3rd place twice, and we might be becoming champions of Denmark for the first time in the save, and the first time since 1979. Tune into the next episode to see if we can actually do it.